was a little bit worried given the time slot that I was only going to have 20 people for the audience. So first of all, good afternoon. And today I will talk a little bit about the involvement of Conti in electrification, but also we did recently a survey last year, a pretty broad survey worldwide to find and to ask questions about electrification. And there, hopefully you share that with me, my opinion that we found some interesting issues that we need to address as an industry as we continue to forge our path down the electrification road. So I'll go through my formal speech, and then it is planned to leave enough time for questions at the end. Ladies and gentlemen, predicting the future is a tricky business. Sometimes the people who made the prediction may be right, only they get the timing wrong. Here's a quote that may be familiar to some of you. The vast stretches of open country are crossed by fossil fuel-driven vehicles, while the smooth asphalt surfaces of the large cities will be busy with vehicles powered by stored electricity. It sounds from a recent study, but in fact, the statement dates from 1897, from Oberbaurat Closet, from the Motorwagenverein Berlin. Whichever way you see it, Closet's vision is as modern as it can be. So let me begin my keynote speech with confirming Continental's commitment to electromobility. To date, we have already embarked on 100 series projects, together with 20 manufacturers worldwide. I know earlier there was some skepticism about 15 project launches in Germany in the next 2 years. Believe me, it is true. Now, the volumes is a different question, but there is plenty of projects in electrification. So, Continental is deeply involved in making electromobility a widespread reality on the road, getting closer to the point that Mr. Krause predicted in 1897. Still, all the technologies we develop today are brand new. This spans from battery applications, power electronics, electrical motors, energy management. In working with our customers, we were the first ones to equip a production application with a lithium-ion battery. We're also already in the third generation of high-power electronics. We're putting that into production in the next year. We were first in applying ultracapacitors for stability, peak power supply supplement. We were the first ones to ramp up mass production of vehicle traction motors without magnets, which is what we use on the Renault new series of electric vehicles. Therefore, our commitment to electromobility is not a marketing slogan, it has a solid base. Continental will, of course, also continue to develop technology that improves the internal combustion engine efficiency. I think it was said earlier, at the same time, the internal combustion engine will be with us for a long time, and we cannot forget it. So in Continental, electromobility doesn't come at the expense of the internal combustion engine. Some MegaCD findings. People living in towns and cities have been trendsetters for centuries. MegaCities are no different than this. Currently, between 21 and 27 cities qualify as megacities. Let's say more than 10 million people. Sometimes over 20 million. In the future, Asia will have, by and large, the majority of these megacities. Each of them is a powerhouse of economic growth. Just consider the challenge of daily delivery of people and goods. In the future, there will be pressure that this delivery or this movement will be increasingly done by CO2 neutral mobility. Clearly, the attitudes and intentions of urban motorists gain importance. This is why the study went to great lengths to find about young urban citizens worldwide. First of all, urban people want to be mobile. However, they are open for new ways of getting around congestion and lack of parking. In some congested and polluted areas, electrical cars are even seen as cooler cars. Motorists in Los Angeles, for instance, answer that e-vehicles are more cost efficient to drive than a car that burns gasoline. Young people are very interested in car sharing. I think yesterday there was a lot of discussion about car sharing. As a rule, it is more important for young urban motorists to have access to a car than to actually own one. Whether a car is seen as an object of prestige depends on the region. Still, The following statement applies equally in all megacities. If the consumer, if they were to win a large sum of money, respondents will rather use this money to buy an apartment or a house than a car. So some strategic consequences. The study confirmed that we have been basically moving in the right direction. To pave the way for electromobility, we need the right kind of technology at the right price. At the first sight, the e-vehicle price problem seems to be a chicken and egg dilemma. The price of electromobility is too high because the volumes are low. The production numbers are too small because not enough people buy the car, and it's too expensive for the performance it offers. We know this well in the industry and are diligently working on solutions. One key issue that has been discussed a lot is the standardization of components to take advantage out of volumes. If I make another comment here, what I see is standardization more at the component level. It's very hard to get everybody to standardize once you get a subsystem or a system, because there is differentiation, and that will continue to play.